Good morning, I'm Nate Putterball. On a day where most of the top 25 struggled, OSU took care of business. They beat Illinois 34-16, keeping a hold of the Illabuck. The defense had 3 turnovers, and Julian Sayin had 2 touchdowns through the air, while C.J. Donaldson added 2 on the ground. In other notable games around college football, number 7 Indiana went into Eugene and knocked off the Ducks. Texas won the Red River rivalry 23-6 over number 6 Oklahoma. Number 4 Ole Miss barely survived Washington State. Number 10 Georgia escaped Auburn last night. USC took down Michigan, and Penn State lost at home to Northwestern. In hockey, the CBJ went into Minnesota last night and took down the Wild 7-4. Kirill Marchenko had his 4th career hat trick, and Elvis Merzlikins made 48 saves in his season debut. The Brewers took down the Cubs 3-1 last night to make their first NLCS since 2018. And in the NFL, the Browns are at Pittsburgh at 1, and Joe Flacco and the Bengals head to Green Bay this afternoon. Breaking sports news, what happens to the fan?
Your boss won't listen to you. Your spouse doesn't listen to you. Your kids barely know you're alive. But here at The Fan, we love and appreciate you.
Just when we learn to appreciate what a huge wussy you are.
This is the show for the people, by the people. It's The Fan Call-In Show.
Presented by the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Here are the leaders of the Lunatic Fringe, Scottie Vegas and Ryan Baker.
Yes. Woo! Boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. The Buckeyes, big win over Illinois yesterday. Penn State, bad. Ooh. Wisconsin, bad. Indiana, really good.
Oh,
and there's a full slate of NFL games on tap. 614-821-9710 is the number to call. We cannot wait to hear from you. Maybe you want to talk some Jackets. Maybe you want to talk some Joe Flacco. Ohio State Hoops is right around the corner. But, Scotty, it was that was one of my, and I didn't have a lot to do yesterday. So yesterday was one of my most enjoyable Saturdays in a while, in the fact that I turned on Ohio State, Illinois right before kick, and I rolled that right into flipping between Oregon, Indiana, and Red River, and then rolled right into the Jackets and kind of paying attention to USC, Michigan last night. It was a fantastic college football Saturday.
Well, it's funny because I found myself also watching the destruction of Penn State.
Wow.
Right? So, I had obviously one TV on that Indiana-Oregon game and keeping track of that, and what an unbelievable win that was for Indiana. But, gosh, Penn State, just to think about coming into this year, how many people thought this was the team, as far as talent goes, that this was going to be the team to beat to win the national championship. They were right there with, exactly, right there with Ohio State and Texas as the teams to beat. And now you are watching them lose. Last week was unbelievable, right? It was jaw-dropping to lose to a horrendous UCLA team who had looked so bad.
And then looked great yesterday against Michigan State.
And then beat Michigan State big. But then, okay, you feel like there's a little wake up after that. You have 2 losses. There's still a chance, if you're Penn State, to recover and you can get things together, maybe win out and still make the college football playoff. And you're at home now and you're playing Northwestern. So you're thinking, oh my gosh, they're just going to destroy Northwestern. And what do? They come out and they lose to Northwestern at home. I mean, just unbelievable, and Ryan.
Add insult to injury, you lose your quarterback for the rest of the year. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad for Penn State, quite frankly, because Drew Aller just doesn't seem to be the guy. But I have never been a fire James Franklin guy, because the other side of what they are, like, I don't know what your expectation is at Penn State. Do you want to win national championships, or do you want to be in the conversation every year? And with James Franklin as head coach, most years they would be in the conversation for a 12-team college football playoff. So I was never fired James Franklin type guy. I would have fired him on the tarmac last night, because he's obviously lost this team. And the one thing James Franklin didn't usually do was lose games that he shouldn't have, right? Like, he's kind of like Ryan Day. Like, he usually wins the games you're supposed to. It's when talent equates or talent is better. They don't get those wins. He would have been gone last night.
What's funny
it didn't even look like the team wanted to be on the field yesterday. Like, they just looked dead and wanted to be anywhere else other than playing for Penn State.
Well, what's funny, too, is there's this narrative with Penn State that they always lose the big games, but win the games that they should win and win them big. However, I do have a crazy stat for you guys. Since James Franklin's first season, which was in 2011, he now has 4 losses as a 20-point or more favorite. So 4 times they've been favored by 20 or more, and they've lost, which is the most of any head coach.
Really?
And how about this? Penn State is the first school to lose consecutive games as a 20 or more point favorite in the last 30 years.
Wow.
That's a crazy stat.
After those 2 games,
Yes.
he would have been gone. Like they to me, they have let Oregon beat them 3 times now, and that's just unacceptable to me. Again, we'll get your thoughts. 614-821-9710 is the number to call.
We're saying like they've let Oregon beat them 3 times now. You've now lost to UCLA and Northwestern.
Yeah.
This week you're the worst team in the Big Ten.
Well, Wisconsin's battling you.
Wisconsin's battling,
Which is another coach I would have fired on the tarmac last night.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine, though, like the deal with Wisconsin is I don't think there was expectations
No one thought they would be good
of being anywhere near a playoff team. But they are so bad. They lost, by the way, if people weren't tracking Wisconsin last night, I don't blame you. But they lost 37-0 to Iowa in a home game. And you got to just feel like, gosh, Luke Fickell is just one of those coaches that this is just kind of the clock's running out.
They lost 37-0, and it wasn't that close.
Yeah.
It was 30-0 at the half.
You and I were talking earlier this week, and you thought maybe Wisconsin was a trap game for Ohio State. I don't think so.
Did
now.
I say that?
I don't think so.
I said that out loud?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was voicing concerns about Illinois, and you were like, I'm more concerned with Wisconsin. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Well, you know what? Those concerns, they're trash. Bye-bye.
Let's head out to the phone lines again. That number, 614-821-9710. Let's go to Nate. Nate, good morning. Thanks for waking up early on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, guys. I'm watching the game yesterday, and, I'm happy we got the win. A win is a win. But every week we watch this team, I think to myself, is Jim Tressel coaching this year's team? Because that's what the offensive play calling looks like. I mean, what was it yesterday, 38-17? That is a Jim Tressel score right there.
Nate, let me ask you a question real quick before you continue. Is that a bad thing? As long as you're winning, is that a bad thing?
Well, that's what I was going to say, Bake.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad we're winning. But once we get to Ann Arbor in November, this game plan looks just like how it did last year when they came to Columbus. It's exactly how we called the game last year. So, yes, if it turns into a win, I'll be happy. But if we come out of Ann Arbor with another loss because we called plays like this, you know how it's going to be.
Nate, thank you so much for the call. I will say this. I think, one, Illinois had a good game plan yesterday where they were not going to let Ohio State beat them deep. They kind of took away the 15, 20 yards down the field. They tried to take that away. They did not want Ohio State to beat them with explosive plays. And Ohio State and Julian Sayin, to their credit, were patient enough to take what the defense gave them and move the ball down the field. Number 2, and we saw Ryan open it up last week against Minnesota a little bit because I think there was really no threat level. I think Ryan Day knows this defense is so daggone good. Why take the risk that they do not have to open it up, especially in these games where it might be a little closer talent-wise? Like, we've heard Ryan Day say a lot this year, we've got to play clean. We've got to be clean, play clean. We've heard him say that a lot. Ohio State yesterday was the cleaner team, and they won. And when you have a defense that is this damn good, you can do it that way.
Absolutely. And Nate, we're going to hook you up with a pair of Pro Football Hall of Fame passes throughout the show today. Call us. We have passes to give away, 614-821-9710. I appreciate the call. I disagree with the take because, look, when you have a defense, and you just brought this up, Ryan, when you have a defense that's this elite, right? And I know that people want that flashy offense. I know that people want the throwing the ball down the field and putting up incredible stats every single week offensively. But when you have this kind of defense, right, sometimes it makes more sense to take what the other team is giving you and not make mistakes and let this Ohio State defense be the elite unit that they are, because they are the best unit in all of college football. So the Ohio State's defense is the best, and it's not even close with anyone else. And quite frankly, you look at the rest of this schedule, Ryan, now, because initially we had that game, that Ohio State-Penn State game circled as like, okay, that's a big one, and then the Michigan game at the end of the year, obviously. Now you look at this the rest of the way for Ohio State, it's almost kind of laughable until you get to Michigan, because you've got Wisconsin, who is just absolutely awful. They are awful. They didn't score yesterday against Iowa. They're bad. Penn State's done. Like they have quit. They're done. They are bad. That's now going to be a very easy game. I imagine Ohio State is probably going to be a 17-point favorite or more in that game. That's how.
Who would have thought it would have been any more than 3, if at all?
Right.
Going into the year.
And then you got Purdue, who's a bad football team. And then you got UCLA, and then you got Rutgers. So your next 5 games, Ryan, are Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers. It's amazing how this schedule has just completely fallen apart because of that Penn State game, which we thought was going to be huge, is now probably a layup game.
Real quick, before we go to break, Scotty, you guys have a watch party today out of Hollywood Casino. Go ahead and tell
Not
the
just
people
you
about
guys,
it.
you're coming too.
I'm coming too.
All right, this is going to be a full-on party at Hollywood Casino today. We are going to be watching the Browns Steelers. We're going to be watching all the NFL games together, and we got all kinds of prizes. We got Pro Football Hall of Fame passes we'll give out there. We got Visa gift cards. We got dining credits. I even have Browns Dolphins tickets to give out. So we got all kinds of. Is that very
enticing? Browns Dolphins?
You know, you get to go to an NFL game. But more importantly, we get to have a good time out at the casino, watch the games on the big screen, and have a blast.
So come join us at Hollywood Casino. Get there early. Get you a nice seat and watch all the NFL games. There's nothing like an NFL Sunday or a college football Saturday at Hollywood Casino. You get your game on the big screen, all the other games around. You can watch them all at once. It's like watching Red Zone, but you can watch everything.
You know, at some point, because it's great, because they can divide up the gigantic TV, you'll have the Browns and the Steelers on the biggest part of the TV. But you can catch all like 7 or 8 games that are going on at the same time when you're standing in one place.
They're always somewhere.
The best.
It is
the best.
So again, 614-821-9710 is the number to call. Tommy and Ken, hang on the line. We will get to you next. It's the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes. The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Ready for your next truck? At Krieger Ford, we have just what you're looking for. Trade in your vehicle and get a new Ford F-150 with a black appearance package for $11,000 off MSRP. It's all part of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind. Visit us today on Morris Road in Columbus or find your new truck at KriegerFord.com.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Is your money just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money's always doing something. Like auto savings for special events, tracking your teen spending, and helping protect your parents from fraud. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
The football season now stretches from August to late January, and we can't afford not to be at our very best all season. Hey guys, it's Eric Reeser, and if you're like me, looking at the calendar wondering how you're going to stay at 100% for the next 5 months, do what I did. Go see my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa. I went to their Grandview location, got hooked up with a fast vitamin push that's got me feeling better than I have in years, and the NAD Plus has me thinking better too. From IV to aesthetic treatments, look great, feel great at Hydrate Me Med Spa. 4 locations, Grandview, Granville, New Albany, and Dublin. Book your appointment at hydratememedspa.com.
You know what my favorite place in the world to watch a game is? It's the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scottie Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I get to visit our favorite game-watching spot twice in 1 week. Sunday, October 12th, watch the Browns Steelers. Then Thursday, October 16th, we're back for the Steelers Bengals. I have Browns tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the games at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Take it out the trash. Hey, Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash. Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunny to partly cloudy skies are expected here for today as temperatures warm up into the low 70s this afternoon. With the cloud cover, there is a very slight chance for a passing rain shower, but otherwise we are looking mostly dry here for today. Winds out of the northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And as we head into the work week, we're tracking more sunshine here for Monday and Tuesday. Highs are back in the mid-70s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Back to the show of the fans, by the fans, and for these crazy fans. The Fan Call-In Show. Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We love hearing from you guys every Sunday. 614-821-9710. That is the number to call. Some Pro Football Hall of Fame passes to some of our favorite callers. You can also chime in over at the YouTube chat. Just search 971 The Fan. You can get all of our shows over there. Let's head back out to those phone lines. Again, the number 614-821-9710. Let's go to Tommy. Tommy, you've been holding the longest. Thank you for tuning in to the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call. I think the last caller made a comment that kind of led into this impression I get about the Tressel play calling, how it can be kind of conservative and a little clunky, and nationally especially, people are expecting this big, explosive down-the-field play calling all the time. It kind of reminds me of last year where it seemed early in the season there was a similar problem. Kind of gave me the impression that they are calling plays offensively that they know they need to work on, so they not only can be better at, for example, running the ball or red zone offense later in the year, but they'll have some of those big plays downfield to go to. They won't have to rely on them so much through the season, and that being patient and strategic is part of a longer season. You don't need to go out and blow everyone out by 50 points to get your point across.
I think it's a good point, Tommy, and thank you for the call. And we know we haven't heard it as much this year, but we know last year, Ryan Day, even before the season started, they talked a lot about a 16-game season, a long season, kind of foreshadowing what was coming. And listen, I've noticed one thing with Ryan Day. If he mentions something, whether it's about a player or a 16-game season or playing clean, if he mentions something without directly being asked about that, you should pay attention to that, because usually when he mentions a player, you end up seeing that player the next week in the game playing a role somehow. 16-game season last year, they were really focused on that, playing clean. So I think the word he used there is patience, right? Like, this is a long season. We saw last week they did the fake punt, where they threw, or not fake punt, but the fake punt return, where Brandon Ennis threw it across the field to Lorenzo Styles. And I remember thinking in that moment when it first happened, why Minnesota? And then I was like, there's something else coming down the pipeline with this. It seems like everything they do is intentional.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And let's look at kind of the game flow of yesterday's game, too. You know, we kind of went into the game saying, okay, Ohio State keeps getting off to these slow starts. And then they start out the first quarter 10-0. So, and then the other thing is, like, a lot of the points that Ohio State got yesterday, and the reason why they weren't putting up huge numbers, where Ohio State was working with short fields after turnovers, right? I mean, multiple times. What was it? 3 times they got takeaways, and Ohio State scored touchdowns off those takeaways.
3 turnovers, and the punter downing himself catching the punt,
which is basically another turnover. Yeah. So I mean, that was part of it. And if you look at the numbers, you know, Sayin was 19 for 27, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Look, I'll be honest with you. I expected, because all the talk going into this game was how bad the Illinois pass defense has been, and the number on their secondaries, and how USC went up and down the field on them, and how Indiana went up and down on the field on them. Well, they didn't. They played a different style of defense where they weren't going to let you go deep, and so Ohio State tried a lot more running plays. But I think a big part of it, really, Ryan, is the fact that Ohio State basically had these short fields and was scoring off these turnovers.
And to me, I think the short field is where I'm more concerned about the play calling than going down the field in big plays, because I don't know if it's just a predictability with the plays they're calling or if they're overthinking it. But it does seem like they struggle in the red zone a little bit to get the right combination of plays to make it work.
One thing I want to talk about, because you and I talked about this off air, and I don't think that this unit has gotten enough credit this season.
Not nearly enough.
Because there were 2 times that I jumped out of my seat yelling, yeah, let's go, because of a great block by the offensive line and the amount of time that Sayin gets on some of these throws. Like, this offensive line is not getting the credit that they deserve on this offense. And they've been spectacular.
That left side with Saraveld, Montgomery, and Hinsman has just been lights out. And Phillip Daniels has brought a nastiness to this group, and maybe Luke Montgomery a little bit, that is just different. Integra Shabola has been fine, and whether it's Onionwa or Padilla, who they've been rotating in there at right guard, they've all been good.
Now, the one moment from yesterday's game that, of course, freaked everybody out was seeing Jeremiah Smith get hurt, right? On a play, it looked like a block was missed, right? And so he kind of landed awkwardly, landed on his back, was in a little bit of pain. That was the moment where everybody's like, But he ends up coming back into the game, fortunately. But that's the thing. Right now, I feel like as far as the big national picture, after watching Oregon lose to Indiana yesterday, it feels like now for the first time there's a separation between the best team in the country, which is Ohio State, and then the next best team. I think there's a significant step down. I think Ohio State's one, then step down, significant step down. You've got Miami and Indiana in the next tier.
It almost feels like the only team in the country that can beat Ohio State at this point is Ohio State. Yeah. Let's go back to those phone lines. Let's go out to Ken. Ken, good morning. Thanks for calling the Fan Call-In Show.
OH boys.
Hi-oh, buddy.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I like what the coaching staff is doing from the standpoint of they're calling a game to win and not give the damn game away.
Yes. Well said.
Taking whatever the Illinois defense was willing to give us, they couldn't stop us. What was the first drive yesterday? 6-7 minutes?
Yeah.
That just set the tone of you can't stop us. So I don't know why people would even be complaining. Does it get a little conservative? Okay, you're still winning by 20 points.
Yeah, Ken, it's a great point, and I tend to agree with you. I do not really have a problem with the way they're running this offense, and I think I think we should give. And Julian's saying it's crazy that this kid is just has 6 starts under his belt.
Right.
In
This is only
football
his second road start.
because he looks very composed and he looks very calm back there in the pocket. And I think we should give kudos to him. And that maybe wasn't his best game of the year yesterday. It might have been his worst completion percentage game of the year yesterday. But he was very patient. It would be easy for a 20-year-old kid in just his 6th start to want to force something down the field, to want to make something happen. But he just sat back there and picked apart the defense. Whatever they gave him, he took, and they moved the ball right down the field. And we saw the importance of a guy like Max Clare yesterday when a defense does that to you. He's wide open in the middle of the field.
You know what's funny, too, is of course we're going to nitpick, right? That's what we do as fans. We can sit back and say, oh, man, why isn't the play calling? Why aren't we seeing bigger plays? That's what we do as fans, especially as fans of the number one team. We're finding things out there. But let's remember, Ohio State has actually they have covered the spread in every single game. The Ohio game was
it was close, but they did not.
Right. That was the one where it was based on the line. It was actually a push. Mm-hmm. But every other game, Ohio State has not just won the game; they've also been covering the spread.
Yeah, Tommy at Collargo brought up the media perception of Ohio State. And, in the past, we might have seen things like, where's the Ohio State offense? Or maybe they weren't a little slow. I haven't seen anything from yesterday other than Ohio State walked into Illinois and completely dominated them.
Yeah. And there was never a minute.
It was never a question.
There was never a minute during that game yesterday where you got nervous, right? I mean, there was never. You talked about this during the Washington game. Mm-hmm. And you also brought this up to me earlier in the week. It's like, will we go into the second quarter maybe kind of, or the second half a little bit nervous in this game? Could it get a little squirrely? And there was no second during that game where you felt like, Ohio State had a chance to be in trouble.
Media perception. I do want to bring up something later on in the show that Booger McFarland said yesterday, and I've got a bone to pick with him, but I want to get to Jim first because he's been waiting a little bit. Jim, good morning. Thank you for calling the Fan Call-In Show.
Good morning. I had to listen to the first half to Jim and Paul.
Nothing wrong with that.
Beach with the king tide rolling in. You wouldn't believe the damage down here. But just a couple observations. Love Ohio State football. I sell it everywhere I go in the country. But I was at the Minnesota game last weekend. What a beautiful night atmosphere. It's not nitpicking. I really believe we may cover the spread, but I believe Ryan always leaves a little bit on the table with his Ohio State teams. And this team is extremely talented, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And in fairness to Julian saying, typical Ryan Day football, 2nd and long, 3rd and long. That's the way Ryan Day, for 6 or 7 years, it's always 2nd and long and 3rd and long. Fortunately, he's got a quarterback this year that just puts the ball in the money. I feel like nationally, and I think Ohio State took a hit yesterday. Indiana played so well. There's started to be some talk about maybe they're the number one team in the country, maybe Miami. And I do think we are the best team in the country, but I don't believe Ryan gives us everything that we've got, long year or short year, and until his back's against the wall. And meaning his back's against the wall, i.e. after the Michigan game last year in the playoffs, i.e. the Georgia playoff game after they lost to Michigan. And he's a great man. He's a great coach, runs a great program. I'm sorry, Miami and Georgia's and Alabama's, and these programs play all 4 quarters. They don't take quarters off. Ryan takes quarters off. He did in the playoffs last year.
Okay,
He have blown Texas out.
I appreciate the passion in the call, Jim. We're going to take a quick break and then react. This is the Fan Call-In Show.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, I invented a way to make sure people's furnaces are safe.
Do you test high temperature, flame rollout, flame limit, and flame proving?
Yeah, no one wants to set their house on fire.
Do you inspect the heat exchanger?
Yeah, no one wants a house full of carbon monoxide.
We already do all that for just $89.
Yeah, but my price is just $88.
Okay, so $88 will be the new price for a furnace safety check.
Get Eco.
I also invented a cool new name for it.
Okay.
I call it the Super Safety Check.
What makes it super?
Well, it costs $1 less, and it has super in the name.
Should I start calling you Super Jerry?
The Super Jerry Super Safety Check. I like it.
Get Eco to safety check your furnace.
Or, for $1 less, you can get the Super Jerry Super Safety Check.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan. Your kids and your spouse might not listen to you, but we will. This is the Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
I want to react to the caller we just had from Jim before we had to go to break. And Jim, we appreciate you, a loyal listener and a loyal Buckeye fan from down in Florida. I know you make a lot of trips to come up here. I just want to talk about, real quick, Scotty, just 2 points that he made. The perception that Ohio State took a hit yesterday nationally, I actually don't think they did. I think the win against Texas looks much better now that Texas beat an Oklahoma team that was ranked in the top 10. And also, I think Miami's perception took a hit yesterday with another bad Florida State loss. Like, Florida State has proven that they were fool's gold, and that I think that win over Alabama to start the year was just a perfect storm there. So I don't think Ohio State's perception took a hit nationally yesterday. I actually think that Texas win helped Ohio State a lot. And then the other thing about leaving a lot on the bone, and I don't want to talk about past seasons because I'm not sure. I think one thing we're forgetting about this team this year, not only is this team, do we think, the best team in the country right now, this team also has the highest ceiling in the country, because we've got to remember a lot of these guys playing football just made their 6th start yesterday.
Including your quarterback.
Yes, your quarterback, a brand new quarterback, a brand new running back, a brand new running back to this team in C.J. Donaldson. 8 new starters on the defensive side of the ball yesterday. Devin Sanchez, his first collegiate start ever. So you got to remember that as talented as these kids are, they're not very experienced playing college football, especially playing ranked teams on the road. So if it was a little not to our liking or conservative yesterday, they still won by 18 points.
And it's funny, Ryan, because you said that exactly right. How many new players you have. And we were debating in our household yesterday, is this the best Ohio State defense we've ever seen? Right? And you know, that's the thing. And I appreciate your point about the overall picture and that win for Texas, because I think a lot of people completely dismiss Texas. Now, Texas got a huge win over Oklahoma. I think that Texas is going to continue to sneak back into the picture a little bit. And then the other thing, as far as Indiana, look, I love watching what Kurt Cignetti's doing, and that win over Oregon was great.
Huge win.
I loved the wink that he gave to during the game. Like, yeah, there's just something about Cignetti that people either love him or hate him. I love Cignetti and what he's doing at Indiana, and I understand, you know, that they're probably going to move up to number 2, maybe number 3 in the country now. However, how many people truly believe if Ohio State and Indiana are playing on a neutral field in a game, that Indiana would beat Ohio State? Like, I get that they're in the discussion of being a very good team. They get a great win on the road. I still can't get there that Indiana would beat Ohio State on a neutral field.
I don't, and I think Ohio State would be the favorite. I'll just caveat that with, I didn't think they'd beat Oregon and Eugene yesterday either. So,
and a ton of respect for that.
Yeah, a ton of respect. But I think man for man, Ohio State is a better football team than Indiana.
Guys, I think if Indiana and Ohio State played on a neutral field, Ohio State would probably be a 7-point favorite in that game.
That's kind of what I was thinking, 6.5, 7. You talked about the best defense ever. That's what Ben wants to talk about. Ben,
right.
Thank you for calling the Fan Call-In Show. What do you got?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. My son and I, we listen to you guys every Sunday morning on our way to church, and so
we
had to just call and say, and listen, this could be the best defense you've ever seen, period. Like, you watched a lot of football in your life. I've watched a lot of football. This defense is just absolutely outrageously bonkers, man. My son wants to had to take on it, but I just want to say, man, this is the best defense you have ever seen, period. Pro, college, high school, peewee, doesn't matter. It's just, this defense is absolutely phenomenal. Lincoln, say what you got to say.
I feel like on Ohio State's first defensive drive, they give the other team confidence, and then when they come back on defense, they just completely shut them down.
It is true. Ben and Lincoln, thank you so much for the call. We really appreciate it.
And Ben and Lincoln need to go to the Hall of Fame. All right, we're going to hook Ben and Lincoln up with a pair of passes to go to Canton in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We appreciate the call.
I love the confidence. Best defense pro ever. I don't know about that, but the 86 Bears might have something to say about that. But that's awesome. And listen, give other offenses credit, too, to Lincoln's point. Like Minnesota last week had a great scripted first drive, and they went right down the field. And then Ohio State, when the field got smaller, they bowed up and they held them to a field goal. Give some of these other coaching staffs credit, too, right? They're designing a game plan for that first drive to take advantage of things they've seen against Ohio State. So give them a little bit of credit, but yeah, then they put the clamps on them. Some people thought I was kind of crazy, and I might be, right?
You are crazy.
When I said before the year that I thought this Ohio State defense might be better despite 8 new starters and some of the guys that they replaced.
I remember you
people
saying
were like, no way, that's crazy. I will say this without a shadow of a doubt. I'll say 2 things without a shadow of a doubt here. To me, this defense is better than last year, and I don't think it's close, quite frankly. And number 2, I think this is the best secondary we have ever seen at Ohio State.
Oh, Igmanosin yesterday with some of the pass deflections that he had. I think he had maybe 4 or 5 that were just awesome. And look, I know he's physical, but I love how tough he is. And
did you hear his comment after the game?
No, I did not.
It was, someone said, you had 4 pass breakups yesterday. It went, I had 4 pass breakups. Why are they throwing the ball that way, my way that much?
That's great. I love that. And then, by the way, the other moment, I told you that, I got out of my couch and was screaming in excitement yesterday. Usually you do that on a long touchdown or a long run or something like that. But it happened twice. One time, of course, when there was an incredible block by the offensive line. I'm like, yeah, let's go. But then the other time was that late in the second quarter at the goal line where it looks like Illinois is going to score. Like on 3 plays, it looked like Illinois was going to score a touchdown. And there would just be one last tackle to keep Illinois out and then force them to the field goal at the end of the first half. That was incredible. That was one of those moments, Ryan, where I stood up, got about 6 inches from my TV, and I'm fist pumping. It was that cool.
That play that Sonny Styles made on the Luke Altmaier rush.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Like, I don't know how anybody did that. I don't know how he did that. It was just insane. Let's head back out to those phone lines. Again, that number, 614-821-9710. Let's go to line 1 in Gino. Gino, good morning, sir. Thanks for calling.
Man, I heard the earlier caller. I'm not going to say his name, but I got Chris Carter here. He wants to say something. Come on, man.
Yep.
What are you talking about taking quarters off? Come on, man. Are you serious? You go out there and put your foot to the pedal for 4 quarters for no reason and get somebody hurt. Then what are you going to do? I think Ryan Day, everything that he does, he knows it's a long season. He prepares for a long season, whereas some of these teams, they just want to blow somebody out so they get a high ranking. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So absolutely great call. And we appreciate Jim calling earlier, too. And he makes good points, and he's loyal, and we appreciate the call. We just disagree, right, on that one. And as far as taking quarters off, ask Alabama about taking that first game against Florida State off. Ask Georgia about what it's like to lose a game because they lost to Alabama. Ask Oregon, who loses a home game against Indiana, when you have Ohio State that's just continuing to go out there, not just win, but cover spreads. They are like winning big. There's no doubt, like the 2 road games Ohio State's played, Ryan, the Washington game and the Illinois game. In the second half, there was no doubt. Ohio State was winning those games comfortably.
How Washington is not ranked is baffling to me. I mean,
and USC.
I don't get. Well, USC will be ranked after
and so
this
will
week.
Washington,
I hope Washington, they deserve to be. I don't think people understand how tough that trip out there is. Illinois gets a bye week, and then they have to go out there. I'm excited for that game in 2 weeks because I think both of those teams are pretty good. I think that will be a fun football game to watch.
Let's take a quick second here, Ryan, because we're 42 minutes into the call-in show, and we haven't acknowledged that Michigan got destroyed last night by USC. Let's take a moment and enjoy that because that was awesome. Oh, we can also continue to enjoy the fact that James Franklin and Penn State lost again at home to Northwestern. And guys, this stat, I gave it earlier in the show, but it's worth saying again. Penn State is the first school to lose consecutive games as a 20 or more point favorite in the last 30 years.
That's crazy.
Holy cow.
That is crazy. Still lines open for you. 614-821-9710. Caden, Brent, hang on the line. We will get to you. Final segment of the Fan Call-In Show coming up next.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall from my friends at Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. 2 years ago, I was actually experiencing hip pain for the first time in my life, and I knew I needed the best. So I chose Orthopedic One for my physical therapy needs. And in a matter of weeks, I was rotating that golf swing better than before, and I was the longest hitter in my group again. So be like me and trust Orthopedic One and stay at the top of your game. Several convenient locations across Central Ohio. To find a physician or location near you, just go to orthopedic1.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You know what my favorite place in the world to watch a game is? It's the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scottie Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I get to visit our favorite game-watching spot twice in 1 week. Sunday, October 12th, watch the Browns Steelers. Then Thursday, October 16th, we're back for the Steelers Bengals. I have Browns tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the games at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the #1 selling bacon cheeseburger in all fast food, the JBC, plus medium fries and a medium soft drink for just $8. Want to hear something else great? Double the burger means double the bacon. Now that's a game changer. 2 of the #1 bacon cheeseburgers with fries and a drink for just $8. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Individual items at regular price.
Other stations have crappy ratings and they wonder why no one listens. So instead of investing money in local talent, they fire people and plug in AI voices. Gee, real entertainment. Well, all of our dummies are real, damn it. The Fan, Ohio's real human destination.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt. And you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Krieger. And at Krieger Ford, we're offering an amazing $12,000 off MSRP on a new Ford Bronco Badlands. This offer is only from Krieger Ford, so come see us on Morris Road or visit KriegerFord.com today. Home of the Krieger Commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
At Giant Eagle, we're here because being part of the neighborhood matters. Because what we pick up at the store is what we bring into our lives. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Ever want to be a radio star?
It's all about the radio.
Or at least hear your voice on the air?
The radio's all yours now.
This is the show for you. This is the Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Thank you so much to all of you that have called in today, blowing up these phone lines. We really appreciate it. This is your show, so we couldn't do it without you. Also, everybody over on the YouTube. I think this is the most we've ever had watching the call-in show on the YouTube and everyone participating. So thank you, all of you guys, so much for that. We truly want this to be your show. Let's head back out to those phone lines. We've got 3 of you to get to. Let's get to Jason. You've been holding the longest. Jason, good morning, and thank you for calling.
Hey, how you guys doing? I want to talk about the offense. So I went back and looked. The first 5 times Ohio State had the ball yesterday, they scored 4 times, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. They had a punt. Then we get the ball back with a minute left before halftime. Not great field position. It sort of run out the clock.
Yeah.
So the second half, we're up 20-10. The next 2 times, Ohio State takes 11 minutes off the clock, scores 2 touchdowns. It's 34-10 with 10 minutes left to go. I mean, that's a ball game. You know how many coaches out there would be jealous of those stats that I just threw out to you? I mean, I think fans want us to be like Tennessee, where we score like 56 points a game, but then you might give up 59. So I'm happy with the Ryan Day team.
Look at Oregon yesterday, too. That's another offense that generally puts up a ton of points, and they end up losing a football game. So, hey, really good call. In fact, let's hook Jason up with a pair of passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And reminder, today, we are going to be out at Hollywood Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. We're going to be watching games together. Can't wait for it. Browns Steelers, tons of prizes to give out. We have Browns tickets to give out. We've got dining certificates, all kinds of fun. So we love our call-in show community. We want to see the call-in show community join us out today at Hollywood Casino, Columbus, starting at 1 o'clock.
Come out, say hi, watch some good football, eat some good food, and have a great time with us. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to Brent. Hey, Brent, you want to talk some linebackers?
Yeah, everybody talks about the defense being so great, but I think the unit that is making the difference this year is the linebackers. These guys are fast enough to cover guys out of the backfield or spy on the quarterback. And we don't blitz very much, but when we do, it seems to be instant pressure. These guys get to the quarterback almost every time they blitz. Patricia seems to kind of hold them in reserve, but when we send them, they cause trouble.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's funny because I'm watching the last drive of the game, and Illinois is trying to get that backdoor cover, right? They're down 18 and has a chance to make it a little bit more respectable on the scoreboard. And Ohio State's not showing any pressure, right? Just kind of letting Altmaier get the time to throw. And then it's like they're kind of getting down the field a little bit, and it's like, okay, gosh, it's time for pressure. And so like the very next play, the linebackers come and immediately it's a sack. And then it's 2nd and 19, right? And so when they want to put the pressure on, and they make big time plays. It was just they were playing a coverage defense where you weren't going to be rushing the linebackers, and so they were giving up some yards. But when it was time to step up, the linebackers came in and got a big sack.
We talk about Matt Patricia and what he's done for this defense. I don't think he could do what he's doing for this defense without Caleb Downs and without Sonny Styles. I think that just makes everything go. And I thought it was crazy when Dane Brugler a couple weeks ago was asked on Twitter if Arvell Reese was a top 15 pick. He said yes. And I don't think that's the crazy part, but what he said is don't be surprised if he's the top Buckeye taken in the draft. And I thought, wow. But all Arvell Reese does is continue to prove that may be right. That dude is a freak of nature. Let's go back out to the phone lines. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you're going to be our last caller today on the Fan Call-In Show.
Okay, if I'm the last caller, I hate to be that guy.
No, you're good.
I want to mention the defense, how awesome it is. But one thing I would like to complain, can we do something about the officiating and these egregious holds? And I know there's a hold on every play. Some of these, Reese breaks through yesterday, hits that running back, and the running back I think he gets 2 points for a wrestling takedown. Some of these are getting out of hand that they are not calling, which would actually increase the efficiency of our defense when it comes down to it.
Go ahead, Jeremiah. Sorry, I hit the button on you on accident.
I don't know where you lost me. I was just complaining about the officiating and the egregious holding and kind of getting your thoughts on, how bad the officiating and the holding is now in the Big Ten.
Jeremiah, I will say, and thank you for the call, I try not to complain about officiating too much because I think it all evens out on the end. I think you get some, I think you lose some. Listen, there were a couple times yesterday that if they wanted to, they could have thrown a flag on Davison Igbinosun.
No doubt.
For pass interference. I like letting them play. Like I had a high school coach tell me once they were going to pass interfere on every play and make the refs call it every time. So if IGB does that every time, you got to force them to call it. So I don't like to get into the officiating arguments ever. Listen, officiating is bad at every level. The game has gotten faster. Officials have gotten older. I do think they need to do. My dad has said this for a long time. The NFL, college football, Major League Baseball, all of it, they need to get guys fresh out of college that are never going to play the sport again and say, we are going to pay you. Come be a full-time official for us. We'll train you. You get guys that know the game already. You get guys that can keep up with the speed. I understand why people don't want to be an official, though, because the fans are ruthless. And the fans are awful a lot of times to the officiating. Not all of the fans, but it's always that select few that make it look bad for everyone else. I just don't like getting into these officiating battles. Like he said, you can call holding on every play.
Yeah, look, I agree. You know, the officiating, there were a couple things that I took issue with. But to be honest with you, guess what? I also took issue with some of the television replay analysts, too. Like, so Mike Pereira is back in the studio, and he's analyzing, you know, he's seeing the replay 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and he's still getting it wrong. They always
miss it.
Yeah, I know, and he's still getting it wrong, having seen the replay 7 or 8 times. Like the Jeremiah Smith catch, you know, he's like, I think that's a catch, and then they took that away. And then the other one was where the Illinois receiver, maybe it was a tight end, was out of bounds, had a foot out of bounds, thought he had reestablished. He clearly didn't reestablish himself in bounds. He still had a foot out of bounds.
So if these guys can't get it right watching it, how can they do it in full time? Yeah, exactly, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Scotty, one last time. We're going to be out at Hollywood Casino later.
That's right. 1 o'clock. Let's party together. Browns Steelers watch party. We got so many prizes today. It's going to be a blast. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Oh, by the way, the food's amazing. The screens are great. It is going to be a blast. Join us out there 1 o'clock today.
Watch the Browns. Come watch my Browns lose to the Steelers with me and commiserate.
Let's win some bets together, though.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for calling in and tuning in this morning on the Fan Call-In Show. Scotty, he's going to stick around. Dave Biddle, I see him out there. He's coming in next. It's On the Money, 2 hours. Buckeye fun coming up next right here on the Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special guests and everything Scarlet and Gray.